Have you ever considered how advanced AI, specifically tools like ChatGPT, are not just answering questions or drafting emails, but truly opening up entirely new avenues to generate income right now? It's a question that sparks a lot of curiosity and honestly a bit of disbelief for many people, I think.
That's precisely what we're here to explore today.
Yeah.
We're taking a real deep dive into how ChatGPT is being used to build actual, tangible profit streams.
Right.
For this deep dive, we've gone through a pretty comprehensive practical guide, and we've pulled out over 20 distinct key strategies that people are actively leveraging right now.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is really to cut through all the noise, the hype surrounding AI.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
We want to give you, the listener, a clear, actionable shortcut to understand exactly how these methods work and, crucially, what the essential steps are for you to potentially put these ideas into practice yourself.
So where do we even begin with such a vast topic? Perhaps we can start with one of the most straightforward applications, something pretty accessible: creating and selling nonfiction reports.
That sounds like a great starting point because, when I think of reports, my mind immediately conjures these images of massive research projects.
Right. Weeks of work.
Exactly, demanding weeks, maybe months of dedicated effort. Usually something for academics or, seasoned industry analysts. How easy is it really to produce a high-quality report using ChatGPT, something someone would genuinely pay for? And I guess, how do you ensure it's not just, generic?
It's surprisingly more achievable than most people imagine, and you've hit on a critical point there about avoiding that generic output. The true advantage of ChatGPT here isn't just its speed, though. Let's be honest, that's a massive benefit.
Sure, speed helps.
It's the AI's ability to rapidly synthesize, to distill information from vast swaths of the internet. Think of it less like a ghostwriter doing the final draft, and more like a super efficient, tireless research assistant. It gathers and structures information in seconds. The real magic, if you like, is in how you direct and refine its output.
A super efficient research assistant. I like that framing.
Yeah.
So if it's not just a write me report button, how do you actually begin? What's the interaction, the dance between you and the AI?
Well, you start by giving it a broad foundational prompt, something like outline a detailed report on the proven benefits of adopting a keto diet for sustainable weight loss and improved energy levels, something specific.
Right, so you give it the core topic.
That initial prompt gives you the basic skeleton, right? The main sections, maybe some subpoints, but that's just step one. That's just the beginning.
And then you step in to sculpt it, I'm guessing. You don't just take that first outline as the final word.
Precisely. This is where the iterative process and, frankly, your expertise become indispensable. You wouldn't just accept the initial output. For example, once you have that outline, you might follow up. Okay, for section 2, metabolic advantages. Can you provide specific scientific studies or key statistics supporting claims of accelerated fat burning?
Pushing for specifics.
Exactly. Or maybe if you're exploring challenges, you ask, what common pitfalls do people hit on the keto diet, and what research-backed solutions can you suggest? This pushes the AI beyond just basic info. You're asking for evidence, for solutions.
So it's truly a conversation back and forth. You're probing, refining, guiding it towards deeper insights. What about when it gives you something that's, close but maybe not quite right, or maybe misses the nuance?
That's exactly where you put on your editor's hat. You read the response critically, identify what's strong, what needs more detail, what might be missing entirely, or maybe just phrased poorly.
Right, the human curation layer.
Totally. Then you prompt it again. Elaborate on this specific point, but could you simplify the jargon for a general audience? Or expand on that section, but I want you to challenge the common assumption that all fats are inherently bad. Your role shifts from just prompting to active curation, fact-checking where necessary is key too, and injecting your unique perspective or a fresh angle.
Got it.
You're structuring the entire piece, adding compelling headings and subheadings, writing an engaging intro, meticulously expanding on the key points, and crafting a concise yet impactful conclusion.
And of course, making it look good, right? Not just a giant wall of text. Visual appeal matters.
Absolutely essential, especially for a paid report. Think about incorporating bullet points for easy scanning, bolding key phrases for emphasis, and even explicitly noting, maybe in comments to yourself, where a chart, a graph, or a relevant image could visually enhance the data or break up the text.
Makes sense.
This not only makes your report look more professional, but significantly more digestible and valuable for the reader. It makes them feel like they got their money's worth.
Okay, so you've expertly guided ChatGPT, you've curated its responses, structured it beautifully, formatted it nicely. You've got this polished, insightful report ready to go. Now comes the million-dollar question, right?
Aha, yeah, the big one.
Where do you actually sell it? This is where it gets really interesting for turning that digital asset into actual income.
It truly is, and the good news is you have several powerful avenues. The first, and arguably the most accessible for many people starting out, is Amazon KDP, that's Kindle Direct Publishing.
Right. Amazon. Huge platform. Everyone knows it. It offers that massive built-in audience already looking for information.
Exactly. The beauty of KDP is its incredible user-friendliness, and importantly, it costs you absolutely nothing to publish, zero upfront cost. Instantly, you gain access to a truly global audience of millions.
Wow.
You can publish your report as an ebook, obviously that's the standard, but
Yeah.
what's particularly appealing, I think, is the option to offer it as a print-on-demand paperback.
Oh, really? Print on demand, so you don't have to order boxes of books.
Not at all. If a customer prefers a physical copy, Amazon handles all the printing, the binding, the shipping, everything, only when an order is placed. You don't manage any inventory whatsoever.
That's incredible. I didn't realize that level of print accessibility was available so easily to independent creators. So you just set your price, upload the file, and Amazon handles the rest.
Pretty much, yeah. You choose your royalty rate, typically either 35% or 70%, which depends on your chosen price point and some distribution choices. The strategic move here, the real key, is to identify a very specific knowledge gap or a pressing problem that your report can solve for a particular niche audience.
Okay, so niche is important.
Very important. Think deeply. Is there a specialized hobby, a common health concern maybe, a rapidly trending topic people are buzzing about, or a specific business tactic that people are desperately seeking clear information on? That's where you target.
Makes sense.
KDP also has programs like Kindle Unlimited. Subscribers can read your book essentially for free as part of their subscription, and you get paid based on the number of pages read. If your report genuinely resonates with that audience, it can significantly boost your visibility and your earnings, even from those free reads.
Okay, Amazon's a fantastic, very accessible launchpad. But what if you want to broaden your horizons a bit, maybe get beyond just Amazon's ecosystem? What other major platforms are out there for selling reports like this?
Well, another major player, especially in the digital product space beyond Amazon, is ClickBank. It's particularly renowned for its enormous affiliate network.
Affiliates. So, meaning other people, other marketers promote your report for you, and they get a commission on each sale they drive.
Precisely, and that's incredibly powerful for reach. ClickBank also handles a lot of the heavy lifting that can be quite complex for a solo creator.
Yeah.
Things like secure payment processing, managing credit card transactions globally, handling refunds efficiently, and even providing basic customer support infrastructure. This offloads a significant administrative burden, right?
No.
It lets you focus squarely on creating valuable content and, importantly, attracting those good affiliates.
That sounds like an absolute lifesaver, especially for someone just getting started who doesn't have a dedicated team for all that back-end stuff.
It truly is. But it's not entirely passive on your end when it comes to affiliates. To attract the top-tier affiliates, the ones who can really drive sales, you'll need to put in some effort. You need to create compelling sales copies specifically for your affiliates, develop eye-catching banners they can use, maybe cracked persuasive email templates they can just adapt and send to their lists.
Ah, so you're essentially selling your product to the sellers, making it easy and lucrative for them to promote it.
You got it. You need to equip them for success. Make it a no-brainer for them to promote your report over someone else's.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, so ClickBank offers that broad affiliate reach. Are there any platforms that are maybe more targeted for specific niches?
Absolutely. If you're in certain niches, then there's Warrior Plus. This platform also boasts a robust affiliate network, similar to ClickBank, but it's very, very laser focused. Its sweet spot is the internet marketing and the make money online niches.
Ah, okay. So a much more targeted audience, specifically people looking for business growth tools, marketing strategies, that kind of information.
Very much so. And what performs exceptionally well on Warrior Plus, interestingly, are products that come with resell rights or, even more powerfully, private label rights, often just called PLR.
Okay, could you quickly break down what those mean? Resale rights and private label rights, they sound like they could be quite valuable, especially in that market.
Certainly. With resale rights, when your customer buys your report, they then gain the legal right to turn around and sell that exact same report themselves to their own audience. It's like giving them a finished product to immediately add to their digital storefront.
Got it. And PLR.
PLR, private label rights, takes it a significant step further. It's often considered more valuable. It means your customer can not only resell your report, but also edit it, rebrand it entirely, put their own name on it as the author, and then sell it as their very own unique product.
Wow. That's incredibly valuable for other marketers and content creators. It saves them immense time, basically giving them content they can customize.
It's a huge time saver for them, exactly, because they don't have to create original content completely from scratch. And this is precisely where ChatGPT can be such a powerful tool for you as the original creator. It can rapidly generate the foundational content needed for you to package up these highly valuable PLR products.
Right.
You could produce a base report, then quickly spin off several variations, maybe focusing on slightly different angles, or even segment it into smaller pieces. All ready for other marketers to take, brand, and sell as their own, it significantly lowers the barrier to entry for you as a creator of these packages too.
That's clever. Okay, so we have Amazon, ClickBank, Warrior Plus, and then the ultimate level of control, I imagine, is just cutting out the middleman entirely and putting it on your own website.
Precisely. Launching and selling directly from your own website provides you with, well, unparalleled control. You have total authority over your branding, the entire customer experience from start to finish, and crucially, you retain a significantly larger share of the revenue because there are no third-party platform fees eating into your profit.
That sounds like the dream scenario for many creators. Complete creative freedom and maximum profit potential.
You can indeed get incredibly creative when it's your own turf. You can easily add bonus chapters that aren't available elsewhere, offer a companion workbook or checklist, or strategically link your report to future consulting services, maybe exclusive webinars, or even higher ticket courses you plan to launch down the line. It's entirely your ecosystem to design and nurture.
And there's always a bite, right? With that control comes more responsibility, I'd assume. It's definitely not as hands-off as letting Amazon handle everything.
Absolutely more responsibility, no question. It means you're personally setting up the secure payment gateways, integrating things like Stripe or PayPal. You're handling all the customer support inquiries directly. And critically, you are responsible for driving all your own traffic and marketing efforts. Nobody's going to accidentally find you like they might on Amazon.
Right.
The barrier to entry here is higher because of the technical setup involved and the ongoing marketing demands. But the potential for higher rewards, building a direct customer relationship, and long-term sustainable business building is also significantly greater.
Okay, so we've covered nonfiction reports pretty thoroughly, but earlier you briefly mentioned fiction, specifically focusing on children's books. How does ChatGPT, which seems so data and information focused, fit into the creative, imaginative realm of storytelling for a young audience?
That's a great question, and it really highlights the surprising versatility of these AI tools. While it's true that children's books generally don't require massive word counts like a novel,
Right, they're often quite short.
the market itself is exceptionally continuous. It's always refreshing.
Yeah, because kids are constantly growing up, right? Their interests change, they move on to new things, and parents are always in the market for fresh, engaging books.
Exactly. And ChatGPT can be an invaluable assistant here for the initial stages. Idea generation, brainstorming plot points, developing character concepts, even drafting simple dialogue or basic narratives. You can prompt it for rhyming schemes if you're doing a rhyming book, ask for adventure scenarios based on certain themes, or even get suggestions for unique character traits.
Interesting.
And here's a really valuable tip, something that can make your book much more appealing to parents and help it stand out in a crowded market. When you're prompting ChatGPT, explicitly ask it to weave in a subtle moral lesson or some positive values.
Like kindness or sharing.
Exactly. Think about themes like kindness, perseverance, the importance of friendship, maybe environmental awareness. Parents genuinely appreciate that educational or values-based element, and it can significantly enhance your book's appeal beyond just entertainment.
That's a smart way to differentiate. Yeah. And thinking even further down the line, maybe bigger picture. Beyond just the initial book sales, what's the really exciting potential here if a book takes off?
The really exciting long-term potential lies in licensing. Imagine if a character or a storyline from your book truly captures the imagination of kids and parents.
Right.
You could potentially license those characters for toys, for merchandise like t-shirts or backpacks, or even adapt the stories into animated cartoons, web series, or short films. That can bring in significant additional revenue streams, far exceeding the income from book sales alone. It transforms your initial creative effort into a potentially much larger intellectual property.
Of course, the children's book market,
Hmm.
like any creative field, must be incredibly competitive. Is it truly realistic for a newcomer, even with ChatGPT giving them a boost, to make a real splash?
It is competitive, absolutely. You need genuinely engaging stories and high-quality illustrations, usually, to succeed. There's no getting around that. But ChatGPT provides a colossal head start on those initial creative and drafting phases.
Mm.
Well, instead of staring at a blank page for hours, maybe days, wrestling with writer's block, you can rapidly iterate on ideas with the AI. Test out different plot twists, develop multiple character concepts quickly, get different dialogue options. This allows you to produce more potential starting points, refine faster, and dedicate your crucial human creativity to the nuanced elements that make a story truly special things, like the emotional arc, the unique voice, the humor.
So it handles the grunt work, letting you focus on the magic.
Exactly. It significantly reduces the time and effort required to get a book from a basic concept to a publishable state, freeing you up to make it truly shine.
Okay, so we've covered generating reports and even dipping into children's books. Now, let's talk about taking these assets and expanding their reach even further. What about converting them into audio? Can you easily turn these reports and ebooks into audiobooks these days?
That's a perfectly natural and honestly a highly effective next step to maximize your content's reach and appeal to different audiences. You can absolutely transform your existing reports and ebooks into audiobooks. For the narration itself, you have a couple of primary options.
Okay, what are they?
You can outsource it, hire professional voice actors on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork that generally ensures a high-quality, human-sounding performance, which many listeners prefer.
Right, the professional touch.
Or alternatively, with the really rapid advancements we're seeing in text-to-speech software, you can use AI-generated voices. The quality of AI narration has improved dramatically. It's quite impressive now, but it still varies. You definitely want to thoroughly review it yourself to ensure it sounds natural, engaging, and doesn't have that robotic quality.
Yeah, you wouldn't want it to sound too artificial. Yeah, and when it comes to actually selling these audiobooks, is it basically just Audible, or are there other platforms creators should seriously consider?
Audible is undeniably the dominant force, the giant in the audiobook market, with a massive user base. They offer different royalty structures depending on whether you go exclusive with them or not, and they do have pretty strict audio quality standards you'll need to meet. However,
Right.
it's often a strategic mistake, I think, to limit yourself only to Audible. There's a whole ecosystem out there. You have Apple Books, Google Play Books, Kobo, and Libro.fm, which has a really interesting model supporting independent bookstores. Then there are other significant players like audiobooks.com, Overdrive, which is huge for library distribution, and Downpour.
Wow. Okay, that's a much broader landscape than I realized, beyond just Audible.
Hmm.
So the overarching advice is probably to go multi-platform to really maximize your potential reach and revenue.
Precisely. Diversify your distribution as much as possible. Each platform caters to a slightly different audience segment or has unique features like library access through Overdrive. So being present on multiple channels just means you're casting a wider net, making your audiobook discoverable by more potential listeners.
But what's truly fascinating here, going back to platforms like ClickBank or Warrior Plus, is that you don't even have to stick to those dedicated audiobook platforms, right? You mentioned bundling earlier.
Exactly. This is where that bundling strategy becomes really powerful again. You can absolutely sell your audiobooks on general digital product marketplaces like ClickBank or Warrior Plus. This works exceptionally well if you bundle the audiobook version with the original ebook or report version.
Ah, okay. So you package them together to significantly increase the perceived value of the overall offer. The customer feels like they're getting a really comprehensive package deal.
That's the idea exactly. The bundle creates a much higher perceived value, which can justify a higher price point compared to selling each format individually. And just like we discussed with selling reports, you always have the option, often the best long-term option, to sell your audiobooks directly from your own website.
Right. What are the specific advantages for audiobooks when selling directly from your own site? Is it just a higher revenue share?
Well, the higher revenue share is definitely a big one, but you also gain complete freedom to experiment with different pricing models. Maybe you offer a tiered system or exclusive bonus audio content only available on your site. You can effortlessly cross-promote your other products or services directly on the sales page. And crucially, again, selling directly allows you to build your own email list of buyers.
That direct connection again.
It's invaluable. This direct connection lets you communicate directly with your audience, maybe offer them early access to future audiobooks, exclusive discounts, and really cultivate a loyal base of fans for the long haul.
That direct relationship for any digital product truly seems to be the golden thread tying all these strategies together, building a sustainable business.
It absolutely is. And think about how audio integrates beautifully into membership sites too. If you're running a membership, adding audio versions of your monthly reports, your training lessons, or even exclusive audio interviews significantly bumps up the value proposition for your members.
Yeah, I can see that. People love consuming content while commuting or exercising.
Exactly. And offering that audio format allows you to justify a higher monthly or annual fee for your membership, making your overall offering even more compelling and sticky. Diversifying your sales points and formats is genuinely key to maximizing your income potential from the content you create.
Okay, speaking of maximizing value, if ChatGPT can help you quickly churn out these reports and maybe other types of content pretty efficiently, why limit yourself to just selling them one at a time? It seems like bundling multiple related reports into one bigger package would be a really smart play.
It's an incredibly smart strategy, and honestly, it's often overlooked by newcomers who just focus on selling one thing. If ChatGPT enables you to quickly create a whole series of related reports, say 10, 20, or maybe even, 50 or 100 shorter reports on various subtopics within a broader niche, you can then package them all together into a mega bundle.
Right.
These bundles, when presented effectively, instantly have a much, much higher perceived value in the customer's mind.
So instead of maybe selling a single report for, let's say, $17 or $27, you could potentially sell a bundle of 10 related reports for $97 or even $197, and the customer feels like they're getting an incredible deal, a whole library of information.
Exactly. This strategy allows you to potentially charge significantly more per transaction, and very often it leads to higher conversion rates too, assuming you price and market the bundle correctly. It just feels like overwhelming value. And Warrior Plus, as we mentioned before, is particularly well suited for these kinds of bundles, especially if you sweeten the deal by including resell or private label rights to the whole package.
Which, as we discussed, effectively gives the buyer a ready-made content business or a massive lead magnet they can deploy immediately.
In essence, yes. It provides them with an immense amount of content value that they can immediately repurpose, resell, or use to build their own lists. But the bundling strategy isn't limited to just Warrior Plus. You can apply it anywhere you sell digital products, definitely on your own website, or even on ClickBank to create a much more attractive offer for your affiliates to promote. It's all about leveraging the content you created to its maximum potential.
All right, this is great for generating individual assets and even expanding their formats or bundling them. But let's shift our focus a bit now. How do all these capabilities translate into building something more sustainable, something predictable, ideally a recurring income stream? That's the real dream for many online entrepreneurs, isn't it? That monthly income.
Absolutely. That predictability is huge. And this transitions us perfectly into the realm of membership sites. They represent one of the most fantastic models out there for generating that kind of predictable recurring income month after month.
Okay, so how does ChatGPT specifically fit into creating and, just as importantly, sustaining a membership site? Because it sounds like it requires a lot of ongoing content creation to keep members happy.
That's exactly where the synergy happens. Imagine providing your members with exclusive monthly reports on emerging niche trends, or perhaps detailed analyses of recent industry developments, or maybe how-to guides on specific tactics, all generated efficiently with ChatGPT's assistance acting as your research powerhouse.
Right.
Members pay a recurring fee, say, monthly or annually, for this consistent stream of high-value, up-to-date content that you can produce with remarkable speed and efficiency thanks to the AI.
So you essentially become the definitive go-to source, the trusted authority for that particular niche. And ChatGPT helps you consistently deliver that value and maintain that flow of fresh information.
Exactly. This model isn't just about delivering content, though. It's about building your authority and credibility within your chosen niche over time. By consistently providing valuable, tailored content that directly addresses your members' needs and interests, you foster deep loyalty and build long-term relationships. For instance, you could commit to delivering, say, 5 unique, deeply researched reports or practical tutorials to your members each and every month, always staying ahead of their needs and keeping them engaged.
And the pricing for these types of membership sites, is it pretty rigid or is there flexibility there?
Oh, it's incredibly flexible. You could start with a very accessible price point, maybe as low as $5 or $10 a month just to get people in the door. Or you could aim higher, maybe $27, $47, $97, or even more per month, depending entirely on the depth, exclusivity, and perceived value you pack into the membership. The more exclusive, actionable, and comprehensive your content and resources, the higher you can justifiably set your price point.
And I assume you can add more than just reports or articles to increase that value proposition even further, to justify those higher tiers.
Oh, absolutely. You can significantly boost the perceived value with done-for-you DFY assets. Think ready-made templates, pre-written marketing copy members can adapt, custom graphics, checklists, spreadsheets, or even bundling in those reseller PLR products we discussed earlier as exclusive member bonuses.
Ah,
All of these things can be generated or at least heavily assisted by ChatGPT. This also naturally creates logical upsell opportunities for your most engaged members, maybe access to premium content tiers with even more advanced training, deeper dive courses, live Q&A sessions, or perhaps even offering one-on-one consulting or coaching at a premium price.
and for someone looking to build this kind of recurring revenue stream, is it incredibly scalable or does it become a huge management nightmare as your member count grows into the hundreds or thousands?
It's actually remarkably scalable thanks to technology. You can manage the entire operation very efficiently using dedicated membership software platforms. There are many good ones out there. Or you could even use a robust email autoresponder system combined with payment processors to handle recurring billing, automated content delivery, and basic member management. This automation allows you to grow your member base significantly without a proportional increase in your personal workload.
Okay, membership sites offer that consistent, high-value, recurring income. What about something perhaps a bit simpler to launch initially, but still really powerful for building an audience and potentially recurring revenue, like newsletters?
Newsletters are another fantastic and frankly enduring way to connect directly with an audience and build income streams over time. They often feel much more personal and direct compared to, say, a public blog post or a fleeting social media update.
Right, it lands right in their inbox.
Exactly. You build trust and credibility over time right there in your subscriber's personal space. And critically, emails tend to have a much longer shelf life and often higher engagement rates compared to the ephemeral nature of social media feeds. They stick around until they're actively dealt with or read.
How do you actually monetize a newsletter effectively, though? Beyond just sending out useful information and building goodwill.
There are actually numerous monetization methods for newsletters. You can feature sponsored content where relevant brands pay you to include their message, promotions, or product features in your newsletter. You can sell advertising space directly, either traditional display ads or more integrated native advertising that blends with your content style.
Okay.
Affiliate marketing is a huge one for newsletters. You recommend products or services you genuinely use and believe in, and you earn a commission on any sales generated through your unique tracking links. A very popular model right now, as you know, is selling premium subscription tiers for exclusive content. That's the paid newsletter model that platforms like Substack have really popularized.
Right, the Substack model is everywhere now.
Exactly. Or you can use your newsletter to directly promote your own products and services to your highly engaged audience. They're already warmed up to you. You could run paid virtual events or webinars, leveraging your subscriber list as a ready-made audience. Some creators with very loyal followings even successfully rely on donations or crowdfunding from their readership. And finally, partnerships with other complementary creators for cross-promotion or joint venture projects can also be a significant source of revenue. The options are truly diverse.
And all of that really ties into the broader concept of email marketing, which people often say is still one of the most effective and cost-efficient ways for almost anyone to build income online, regardless of their niche.
It absolutely is. It's time-tested and remarkably cost-effective, especially when you compare it to the rising costs of paid advertising platforms. At its core, effective email marketing is all about establishing yourself as a trusted authority in your niche and building a genuine, trusting relationship with your subscribers over time. That relationship, that list, is arguably your most valuable business asset.
So can you just pump out content with ChatGPT, copy and paste it directly into your emails, maybe for promotions, and then just hit send? Is it that simple?
I would strongly advise against using raw, unedited ChatGPT content verbatim for your email promotions, especially sales emails. It often lacks a distinct personality. It can sound quite generic or robotic, and your audience, the people who trust you, will likely notice pretty quickly. Authenticity is absolutely paramount in email.
Okay, so authenticity is key. How should you use it then?
You should absolutely use ChatGPT as an incredibly powerful assistant. Use it to generate a multitude of subject line ideas to test. Brainstorm compelling calls to action. Ask it to pull out relevant statistics or interesting anecdotes you can weave into your email copy. Get outlines for your emails. Then you take that raw material and you infuse all of that with your unique personality, your specific tone, your voice, your stories. Use it as a robust starting point, a way to beat the blank page, but never the final unedited word.
Okay, so use it to supercharge your brainstorming and drafting, but then you absolutely have to make it your own. That makes a lot of sense. And what's the absolute golden rule for effective email marketing, if there's just one key takeaway people should remember?
The absolute non-negotiable key is building a quality, engaged email list. Not just any list, not a huge list of uninterested people, but one composed of genuinely interested subscribers who have explicitly given you permission and actually want to hear from you.
Right. Permission is key.
Use prominent, clear opt-in forms on your website. Create dedicated landing pages for specific lead magnets. Maybe offer content upgrades within your blog posts, and even leverage your social media profiles to drive signups. Always get explicit, unambiguous permission from your subscribers. They need to genuinely opt in, knowing what they're signing up for.
And definitely, unequivocally, do not buy email lists, right? I hear that warning constantly, but people are still tempted.
1,000 times no. Please do not buy email lists. It is one of the absolute quickest ways to destroy your sender reputation, get your domain blacklisted by major email providers like Gmail and Outlook, and ensure abysmal engagement rates. You'll just be sending emails to people who never asked for them, which is not only ineffective, but also potentially illegal in many places, and just terrible business practice all around. Build your list organically through genuine value exchange and explicit permission. That's the only sustainable, ethical, and effective path forward.
Got it loud and clear. Build, don't buy. Okay, so moving away from building your own lists and sites for a moment, what about directly offering a service using these newfound ChatGPT skills? Like, say, ghostwriting those reports, ebooks, or articles for other people. Businesses who are maybe too busy or don't have the writing expertise themselves.
This is honestly one of the most direct and perhaps simplest ways to immediately capitalize on ChatGPT's power for income. You're directly leveraging its speed and content generation capabilities to serve clients who desperately need high-quality content, but maybe lack the time, the internal resources, or the specialized expertise to create it consistently themselves.
How would that work in practice? Where would you typically find these clients, and what kind of specific services would you offer?
You'd offer comprehensive ghostwriting services. This could range from short blog posts and website articles all the way up to full-length ebooks, detailed industry reports, white papers, maybe even marketing materials. You can find potential clients on popular freelance platforms, think Fiverr, Upwork, maybe Guru or freelancer.com, or even by networking directly in specific industry groups online, like on LinkedIn.
Okay.
ChatGPT provides you with a significant strategic edge here because it allows you to handle a much higher volume of work and potentially take on more projects simultaneously than if you were writing every single word completely from scratch. You can often offer faster turnaround times, which is a huge selling point for busy clients.
Right. That faster turnaround and greater capacity must be appealing. How do you figure out your pricing for something like that? And maybe more importantly, what's the secret sauce to landing those crucial initial clients when you're just starting out?
For pricing, the best approach is to thoroughly research what other established ghostwriters are charging on those platforms. Look at their rates, whether they charge per word, per hour, or offer a flat fee per project. You might even consider creating tiered package deals, say for a bundle of blog posts or a series of related reports.
Okay.
To secure those crucial initial clients, prioritize building a strong portfolio, even if it includes spec pieces initially, and actively collect testimonials from happy clients. Positive reviews and social proof are like gold dust on freelance platforms. And always ask satisfied clients for referrals. Word-of-mouth marketing is incredibly powerful in the service industry.
And what if demand for your ghostwriting services really takes off? How do you scale that kind of service-based business without completely burning yourself out?
That's a good problem to have. If demand grows significantly, you have a couple of primary options for scaling. You could strategically expand your team by hiring other talented writers and then training them specifically on your efficient ChatGPT-assisted workflow. This way, they can also leverage the AI for speed and consistency, maintaining your agency's output quality.
Right, build a team.
Or, alternatively, you could diversify the types of writing services you offer, perhaps moving into more specialized or higher value niches like technical writing, detailed case studies, sales page copywriting, video script writing, or even crafting comprehensive marketing funnels for clients, which often command higher fees.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly to affiliate marketing. Earning commissions by recommending other people's products or services is hugely popular online. How does ChatGPT specifically fit into this model, especially when it comes to creating compelling product reviews?
This is another area where ChatGPT can really shine, primarily acting as your ultimate research assistant and initial drafter for those affiliate reviews. Think about the traditional process for writing a thorough review. You'd probably spend hours digging through product specification sheets, maybe user manuals, and trawling through countless customer reviews online to get a really holistic, balanced view.
Yeah, that sounds time-consuming.
Exactly. Instead of that painstaking manual process, you prompt ChatGPT.
So you'd ask it specifically to synthesize customer feedback or product specs. Could you give me an example of a good prompt you might use for that?
Sure, you could prompt it something like, summarize the top 5 standout features, 3 main pros, and 2 commonly cited drawbacks of the XYZ Smart Blender based on user reviews found on Amazon, Best Buy, and leading tech review sites. Or, for a digital product, analyze customer feedback for the Online Course Academy program and identify the recurring pain points it successfully addresses, as well as the unique benefits most frequently highlighted by satisfied students.
Ah, okay. That pulls the key info together fast.
It saves an enormous amount of time, truly. This allows you to create detailed, engaging, and seemingly well-researched reviews for many more products than you could manually. You can then focus your precious human effort on promoting products with recurring commission structures or high-ticket items that offer much better payouts per sale.
And once you have these AI-assisted reviews drafted, where are the best places to publish them for maximum visibility and impact?
Your primary platforms would typically be your own blog, or perhaps a dedicated review website focused on a specific niche. You could also very easily repurpose that written review content into a video script and create engaging video reviews for a platform like YouTube, which is huge for product research.
Like video reviews are popular.
And if you're maybe a bit camera shy or don't want to do the voiceover yourself, you can even outsource the voice narration and the video editing relatively affordably these days.
What makes a review truly effective, though? Beyond just listing the features and the pros and cons ChatGPT might have found, what connects with the reader or viewer?
Authenticity is absolutely paramount. Ideally, you should try to personally use the product you're reviewing to provide genuine firsthand insights and experiences. But even if that's not always feasible, especially for high-cost items, ensure your review offers a genuinely balanced perspective. Don't just hype the positives. Acknowledge any potential negatives, limitations, or who the product isn't right for.
Okay, be balanced.
Maintain a conversational, relatable tone, right like you're talking to a friend. ChatGPT can actually help structure your review logically, suggest relevant anecdotes to include, or pull supporting statistics to make your points more compelling. Always try to include visuals, screenshots, product photos, maybe even a short demo video if possible, and ensure good formatting with clear headings, subheadings, and bullet points for easy readability. And critically, of course, include a clear, compelling call to action, like click here to learn more and check the current price, with your strategically placed affiliate links.
And the fundamental rule, which applies across the board online, always be transparent and clearly disclose that you're using affiliate links.
Absolutely. Transparency isn't just ethical, it's crucial for building long-term trust with your audience. And in many regions, it's a legal requirement, like FTC guidelines in the US. Don't try to hide it. And don't forget the basics of SEO search engine optimization. You need to optimize your review content so people actually find it when they search on Google or YouTube. Even the best review in the world won't generate commissions if no one sees it. A bit of social media promotion for your reviews also helps amplify their reach significantly.
Okay, now let's talk about copywriting. We see so many marketers, maybe even ourselves sometimes, using ChatGPT for drafting sales pages, ad copy, email sequences, all sorts of persuasive writing. But it's not just a simple matter of copy-pasting the output, is it, for truly effective copy? Because really good copy, the stuff that actually converts prospects into customers, usually requires that deep human touch, that understanding of psychology.
You've hit on a really crucial distinction there. For good copy that genuinely resonates and converts, it is absolutely not just a case of copy pasting. Doing that usually leads to bland, generic, ineffective results. Truly effective copy requires extensive tweaking, rigorous editing, and most importantly, a profound, empathetic understanding of your target audience's deepest desires, fears, pain points, and aspirations. You still absolutely need fundamental copywriting skills. ChatGPT is a powerful tool, an incredible accelerator, but it is not currently a replacement for that deep human insight and strategic thinking.
So what are those fundamental copywriting skills that remain absolutely indispensable, even in the age of AI?
You still need to master the art and science of crafting powerful, attention-grabbing headlines that stop people in their tracks. You need to intimately understand your target audience's specific pain points, what keeps them up at night, and connect with their aspirations, what do they truly desire. And perhaps most critically, you must be able to clearly articulate the unique selling proposition or USP of whatever you're promoting. What makes it truly different, better, and the ideal solution for them. These are the human-centric strategic skills that AI can certainly augment and help you explore, but not yet replicate effectively on its own.
How does one get better at that, at blending their own developing skills with what AI can offer? Is it just a matter of practice, studying what works?
Exactly. Practice and study are key. I'd strongly recommend building what copywriters call a swipe file, basically. A collection of sales letters, ads, emails, landing pages that you admire, that caught your attention, or that have proven to be highly effective. Study them. Break them down. Figure out why they work. Maybe invest in a good copywriting course or book that teaches the timeless principles of persuasion and direct response.
Okay.
Then use ChatGPT iteratively as part of that learning and creation process. For example, prompt it for, say, 20 different headline ideas for a specific product targeting a specific audience. Then you, armed with your human judgment and understanding of the market, refine those ideas, combine elements, make them punchier, more emotional, truly impactful. Ask it to draft a section focusing on a specific benefit. Then you rewrite it entirely in your authentic brand voice, injecting genuine emotion, credibility, and persuasion.
So it's a powerful tool to augment your skill, to spark initial ideas and accelerate the drafting process. But you remain the master craftsman, the strategist shaping the final message.
Precisely put. You're the conductor, AI is part of the orchestra. And if you get truly proficient at this complex dance, combining your core copywriting knowledge and strategic insight with ChatGPT's incredible speed and idea-generating capabilities...
Then you could potentially build an entire business around it, maybe even an agency.
Exactly. You could realistically establish your own copywriting agency or freelance business built on this augmented model. Start by creating a professional-looking website that clearly showcases the services you offer, highlights your portfolio of successful projects, even if they start as spec pieces to demonstrate your skill, and prominently features glowing client testimonials as you get them. You can definitely leverage freelance sites like Upwork or TopTal initially to land those foundational clients and start building your reputation in case studies.
How would you scale an agency like that effectively? It sounds like it could become overwhelming pretty quickly if client demand really surges.
As demand grows, you'd strategically scale, likely by building a small, skilled team. You might start by hiring junior writers or even virtual assistants and then training them rigorously on your specific process, showing them exactly how to effectively integrate ChatGPT into their workflow to maintain efficiency, consistency, and quality across all client projects.
Right.
As you grow further, you could bring on more experienced senior writers, perhaps project managers, and even diversify into related, higher-value strategic services like developing comprehensive content marketing strategies for clients, crafting end-to-end sales funnels, or offering specialized SEO copywriting services, all commanding higher retainers or project fees.
Okay, so beyond very specific outputs like reports or sales copy, ChatGPT can also just help you churn out more general articles too, right? For various purposes like building website authority or content marketing.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly versatile for generating all sorts of general articles. These can be used for numerous strategic purposes, boosting your website's SEO, making it more discoverable on search engines like Google by targeting relevant keywords, establishing your authority and expertise on a specific topic over time, or simply enhancing your overall online presence and providing value to your audience. And there are even some rather fascinating direct ways people are monetizing those general articles.
Like what? Any specific examples come to mind that are perhaps a bit unconventional or niche?
Well, there's one quite unique platform called Listverse. They're specifically known for paying creators for original, Interesting, often quirky top 10 list style articles. If your unique listicle meets their quality standards and is accepted for publication, they pay, I believe, a flat fee of around $100 per article. It's a very interesting niche model that directly monetizes that specific popular type of content.
Huh. $100 for a list article. That's a very direct monetization example for what might seem like a general piece of content.
It is, and it's just one example illustrating the creative ways people are finding to monetize content generated efficiently with AI's help. The broader point, though, is using ChatGPT to quickly generate a high volume of quality article content, which you can then leverage in myriad ways across your online properties, whether that's attracting organic traffic to generate ad revenue on your own site, driving affiliate sales through embedded links, using articles as lead magnets to build your email list, or simply diversifying your writing income streams beyond just direct client work.
All right, this next one sounds like a significant leap in terms of scale and potential profit. Building and then actually selling entire websites, often referred to as website flipping. That sounds like a whole different ballgame compared to just writing reports or articles.
It absolutely is a step up in complexity and potential reward. And this is where the potential for significant financial gain becomes quite high for those willing to learn the ropes. The core idea is strategic. You leverage ChatGPT to rapidly generate a large volume of high-quality SEO-optimized content for a niche website.
Hmm.
You work diligently to build up its organic traffic and authority in Google's eyes. You establish some reliable monetization streams, and then you sell the entire digital asset, the website, its content, traffic, and income streams as a package deal.
People genuinely buy established income-generating websites. Is there actually a robust, liquid market for that? It almost sounds too good to be true for some.
It's very much a real, established, and quite active market. There are several specialized marketplaces and brokerage firms dedicated solely to facilitating the buying and selling of online businesses, including content websites. A well-known example is Empire Flippers, which, as you mentioned in the outline, has reportedly brokered deals worth over $400 million in total online business sales. This isn't just a hypothetical side hustle, it's a proven business model for many serious online entrepreneurs.
Okay, it's real. What kind of specific skills would someone need to develop to realistically get into something like website flipping? It sounds like it requires more than just strong content creation abilities.
You definitely need to cultivate a more diverse skill set beyond just writing. Key areas include website valuation, learning how to accurately assess what makes a site valuable to a potential buyer, traffic quality, monetization methods, niche growth potential, backlink profile, etc. You need strong SEO practices, obviously, to get the traffic in the first place. Basic web design and development knowledge helps. And a solid grasp of digital marketing principles is essential to drive traffic and engagement effectively. You also need to get good at analyzing market trends and identifying potentially profitable, underserved niches where a content-heavy site can realistically thrive and attract buyers later on.
So you build it, you optimize it, you get the traffic flowing. How do you significantly increase a site's perceived value before you even start thinking about listing it for sale? What makes buyers pay top dollar?
Monetization is paramount. You need to integrate and optimize various income streams. This could include well-placed affiliate links relevant to the content, display advertising networks like Google AdSense or Mediavine, perhaps even selling your own simple digital products or offering basic e-commerce functionality if appropriate for the niche. Building an engaged email list associated with the site or fostering an active community, like a forum or Facebook group, also dramatically increases its appeal and potential sale price.
Right. The list and community adds sticky value.
Exactly. You also need to ensure the site is technically sound, fully mobile-friendly, loads quickly, easy to navigate, and most importantly, you must have solid, verifiable data tracking its traffic sources, monthly revenue figures, and user engagement metrics over a sustained period, usually at least 6-12 months. Highlighting consistent growth trends and outlining clear future potential is absolutely key to showcasing the site's strengths and justifying a higher valuation to potential buyers.
And knowing the right time to sell, I imagine, is also pretty crucial for maximizing your profit from the flip.
Indeed. Monitoring broader market trends for online businesses and understanding the current buyer demand for sites in your specific niche can definitely help you determine the optimal time to list your site for sale. However, it's also important to remember that you don't have to sell it immediately. If the site starts generating a decent, relatively passive income stream for you, maybe a few $1,000s a month from ad revenue or affiliate commissions, you can simply choose to hold on to it as a valuable long-term asset.
Exactly. Or, as you often emphasize. Use it as that powerful primary tool to build that invaluable email list via prominent opt-in forms, turning it into a long-term lead generation machine for other ventures, even if you don't sell the site itself. You've got options once it's built, generating traffic and making some money.
Absolutely. The initial goal is creating tangible value, and then you strategically decide the best way to extract or leverage that value based on your own goals and the market conditions.
Okay, let's pivot now to another significant passive income idea that has really exploded in popularity over the last decade or so. Creating and selling online courses. Many people seem to be making a decent living, or even more, from sharing their expertise this way.
They absolutely are. It's become a huge industry. People are generating significant passive income, potentially thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars per month in some cases, by creating high-quality, in-depth online courses and distributing them either on established marketplace platforms like Udemy, Skillshare, or Coursera, or increasingly by hosting them on their own dedicated learning management system, LMS websites.
Does a big platform like Udemy handle all the marketing and student acquisition for you? Or do course creators still have a significant responsibility to promote their own courses?
That's a common misconception. While platforms like Udemy certainly do have internal marketing mechanisms, search algorithms, and a massive built-in audience of potential students browsing for courses, relying solely on the platform's organic promotion is rarely sufficient for substantial, predictable success. To truly stand out from the crowd and drive consistent enrollments, you, as the course creator, need to actively utilize your own marketing channels.
Such as.
Your social media presence, building anticipation on your personal website or blog, nurturing your email list and promoting launches there, maybe even guest posting on other relevant blogs or podcasts in your niche to drive targeted traffic directly to your course enrollment page. Think of the platform primarily as a convenient distribution channel and payment processor, not your sole marketing engine. You still need to drive traffic.
Okay, that makes sense. What are the key factors that typically make an online course truly successful and engaging on these platforms? What separates the popular courses from the ones that languish with few students?
Professionalism and genuine value are paramount. You need high-quality, engaging content that not only delivers on its promises, but also keeps students actively interested and facilitates effective learning from beginning to end. That typically means well-produced video lessons with good audio and visuals, clear and concise presentations or screencasts, interactive elements like quizzes or assignments to test understanding and reinforce learning, and valuable downloadable resources like checklists, templates, or workbooks. The more interactive, practical, and valuable the overall learning experience, the better your course completion rates and, crucially, your student reviews will be.
And what's ChatGPT's transformative role here in the actual course creation process? It sounds like it could be a huge help with the initial heavy lifting of content development.
It can be absolutely fantastic, a real game changer for course creators. ChatGPT can rapidly help you outline the entire course structure, ensuring a logical, progressive flow from foundational concepts to more advanced topics. It can draft detailed lesson scripts and core content for your modules, generate thought-provoking discussion questions to foster community engagement, and even create a wide variety of quiz questions, multiple choice or open-ended, to effectively test student comprehension along the way.
Wow.
This immensely speeds up the initial, often daunting content creation process, while you, the expert, still absolutely need to record the videos, add your unique voice and teaching style, infuse your expert insights and personal anecdotes, and maybe create the visual aids. ChatGPT handles a tremendous amount of the upfront content heavy lifting. It allows you to focus more on the delivery, the student experience, and sharing your specialized knowledge effectively.
And for discoverability, especially on a super crowded platform like Udemy, with literally hundreds of thousands of courses, I imagine the course title and the description you write are absolutely critical.
Utterly critical. Writing compelling, keyword-rich titles and detailed, benefit-driven course descriptions is absolutely vital for discoverability, both within the Udemy platform search and on external search engines like Google. Your title and description need to clearly communicate the course's core value proposition, who it's for, and what specific outcomes students can expect to achieve. And definitely, actively encourage your enrolled students to leave honest reviews. Positive reviews act as powerful social proof signals that significantly boost your course's visibility in searches and dramatically increase conversion rates for new potential students browsing the platform.
Okay, now for something that definitely sounds a bit more technical, like we require some serious hardcore coding skills, but you mentioned earlier it's surprisingly accessible. Building Chrome extensions. This feels like a huge leap from content creation or course building.
It definitely sounds highly technical, doesn't it? Like something only a seasoned software developer could realistically tackle. But stick with me on this one. Consider a famous example like ad block. At its core, it's a remarkably simple concept, just blocking unwanted ads. Yet that single Chrome extension reportedly generated something like $44 million in revenue way back in 2017. The potential for impact and even significant profit from a relatively simple browser extension can be absolutely enormous.
Wow. $44 million from Adblock.
And
Okay,
also,
fair point.
yeah.
But how would someone with little to no prior coding experience even begin to get a viable idea for an extension, let alone actually build the thing?
For generating ideas, you can simply browse the Chrome Web Store itself. Look at the popular extensions in different categories, see what kinds of problems people are solving, what utilities are resonating, or maybe even more effectively, pay attention to your own daily browsing habits. Are there small, repetitive tasks you wish you could automate? Frustrations you encounter frequently? Those are often the seeds of great extension ideas.
Okay, find a pain point.
Exactly. And the truly cool, almost magical part now is that ChatGPT can often generate the actual underlying code. The JavaScript, the HTML, the CSS needed for many simple yet genuinely useful extensions.
Seriously, it can actually write the functional code for a working Chrome extension.
For simpler functionalities, quite often, yes. Think about things like a quick script to capture a specific part of a web page and allow basic annotation, or a simple notepad that pops up right in your browser window, maybe a quick dictionary lookup tool that works on highlighted text, or even a basic productivity timer like the Pomodoro technique integrated into the browser. You just need to prompt it very clearly and specifically with exactly what you want the extension to do, focusing clearly on the desired functionality. It can frequently provide the foundational code structure.
But then, even if you miraculously get the code from ChatGPT, what if you have absolutely no idea what to do with those lines of code? How do you turn that text into a functional extension that you can actually load into Chrome, use yourself, or maybe even distribute?
This is the real game changer. You literally just asked ChatGPT for help with that part too. You can follow up with a prompt like, okay, great, you've given me this JavaScript code for a simple note-taker extension. Now, could you please provide me with clear step-by-step instructions on how to turn this code into a fully working Chrome extension? Include exactly how to create the necessary manifest.json file, how to structure the files, how to load it into my Chrome browser for testing using developer mode, and then how to package it correctly for potential submission to the Chrome Web Store.
Wow.
It can often guide you through that entire deployment process, effectively democratizing what was once considered a highly technical skill reserved for developers. It truly lowers the barrier for entry dramatically.
That's amazing. And I'm guessing a very similar principle applies if you wanted to build simple web-based tools instead of browser extensions, like calculators or generators hosted on a website.
Exactly the same core principle, just deployed differently. Instead of running in the browser as an extension, the tool runs on a web page hosted on your own website. You can leverage ChatGPT to write the underlying code, often JavaScript, maybe some HTML and CSS for the interface, for a simple, single-purpose web tool. As you said, this could be a specialized calculator, like a mortgage affordability calculator, a fitness calorie tracker, a retirement savings projector. Or it could be a specific text generator, maybe a headline analyzer, a simple paragraph rephraser, or even a basic image utility like a resizer or a format converter.
And once you've got this functional little web tool built and embedded on a page on your site, what's the typical path to monetization? You're not necessarily selling access to the tool itself, are you, if it's simple?
You could try to sell the code itself if another developer or business wanted to license it for their own use, but much more commonly, you embed the tool on your website and offer it for visitors to use completely for free.
Free? Okay, so how do you make money if thousands of people are using your cool calculator or generator for free? Where's the revenue?
You monetize the page surrounding the tool, leveraging the traffic it attracts. The most common ways are placing display ads, like Google AdSense, on the page alongside the tool. Or you could integrate relevant affiliate ads directly related to the tool's purpose. For example, that weight loss calculator site you mentioned in the outline reportedly garnered something like 40 million visitors a month at its peak. Imagine the potential ad click revenue from that kind of targeted traffic.
Yeah, it's substantial.
Alternatively, you could offer a free basic version of the tool with core functionality, and then introduce a premium paid version with more advanced features, additional customization options, or maybe priority support, enticing your power users to upgrade. And perhaps most strategically, a genuinely useful free tool is an absolutely excellent lead magnet. It provides immense value upfront, encouraging visitors who find it useful to opt into your email list in exchange for access or maybe for additional related resources. This allows you to build a highly targeted and engaged audience for future promotions, course launches, or affiliate offers.
Okay, one last major area we wanted to touch on, dropshipping. This popular e-commerce business model feels very focused on tangible things like product sourcing, supplier negotiation, shipping logistics. How can ChatGPT, which is primarily a language and information AI, possibly provide significant help with something so physical and logistical?
That's a very perceptive question, and it's true, ChatGPT isn't going to physically pack boxes or negotiate supplier contracts for you. However, its primary utility in the context of dropshipping is as an incredibly powerful research, analysis, and strategic planning tool. Success in dropshipping often hinges critically on identifying the right products within the right emerging niches, targeting the right audience at the right time, and ChatGPT can significantly accelerate and improve that entire discovery, validation, and strategic positioning process.
So you'd use it primarily for market research, asking it questions like, what are the hot trending products right now, or something similar.
Exactly, but you can get much more specific and strategic than just hot products. You could prompt it with things like, what are some top-selling high-margin products currently trending in the sustainable home goods category on platforms like Amazon and Etsy? And can you suggest potential reliable suppliers for these items on Alibaba or DHgate? Or you could use it to refine your target market analysis. Describe the typical demographic profile, interests, and online behaviors of the target audience for eco-friendly pet products. Based on this, suggest potentially profitable sub-niches suitable for young, urban professionals who prioritize sustainable living.
Okay, getting really granular.
ChatGPT can analyze vast amounts of data, identify emerging trends from search queries and social media buzz, and process user sentiment from reviews to suggest promising product categories and specific niche opportunities you might not have considered.
And can it also help significantly with competitor analysis that usually involves a lot of manual digging through competitor websites and reviews?
Absolutely. This is another strong point. You can ask it to do things like analyze the primary marketing strategy and messaging used on the website competitorxyz.com, focusing specifically on their featured products, ad copy tone, and social media engagement tactics. Or, perhaps even more powerfully, summarize hundreds of customer reviews for a specific popular competing product to identify recurring complaints, commonly express unmet needs, or frequently requested features that I could potentially address with a superior product offering or better marketing angle.
Wow, that's like having a market research team on demand.
It empowers you to make highly data-driven decisions about precisely what products to sell, how to effectively position them against the competition, and how to craft your marketing messages to resonate deeply with your target audience's known pain points and desires.
So it's really about streamlining that entire front-end process. The opportunity identification, the market validation, and the strategic planning phase of dropshipping.
Precisely. It allows you to rapidly find potentially profitable niches, identify emerging consumer trends before they peak, conduct in-depth competitor analysis much faster, and even discover potential new markets or compelling product variations for an existing dropshipping business. It dramatically streamlines the often laborious, time-consuming, and frankly, sometimes overwhelming research phase, giving you a considerable strategic and speed advantage in a very fast-moving competitive market like dropshipping.
Wow, okay, that is quite a landscape of opportunities we've just covered. Seriously. From the relatively simple act of creating and publishing content like reports, right up to building and potentially flipping entire websites and even developing unique web-based tools or Chrome extensions. All of these ventures significantly supercharged by the capabilities of ChatGPT. It truly is vast, isn't it? The sheer range of entrepreneurial possibilities that seem more accessible now.
It really is vast, and I think you've captured the essence of it perfectly there. If we try to connect all these individual tactics back to the bigger picture, what we're really witnessing, I believe, is that really about automating existing tasks a bit faster or more efficiently. It's something more profound. It's fundamentally about empowerment.
Empowerment. How so?
It's significantly lowering the barrier to entry for so many different kinds of entrepreneurship that just a few years ago might have required substantial upfront capital investment, highly specialized technical skills that took years to acquire, or simply immense amounts of time and manual labor that most people couldn't realistically commit.
It's effectively opening doors that honestly just didn't even exist as viable options for a lot of ordinary people, maybe even just 5 or 10 years ago. It feels less like AI is coming to replace human effort across the board, and more about it amplifying human creativity, ingenuity, drive, and entrepreneurial spirit in ways we're probably only just beginning to fully grasp.
That's a perfect way to put it. Amplification, not just replacement. So perhaps for you, the listener, here's a final provocative thought to ponder as we wrap up with this deep dive. Given everything we've discussed today, all these diverse and powerful capabilities of ChatGPT, from sophisticated content generation and market analysis to actual code assistance and strategic planning, what entirely new niche or perhaps completely novel form of digital product or service do you think will emerge next for people looking to innovate and profit in this rapidly evolving landscape? The possibilities, as we've clearly seen today, are just immense and constantly expanding.